I was listening to this song, Love is Still the Answer by Jason Mraz. I ran across a comment from another listener. This is at Jarek Song Elia 1785. So he wrote this. So many writers and artists have conveyed the message of love. A lot of people immediately assume they're referring to romantic love. My point is, we seem to have forgotten how love for other people can have a great impact on our own as well as their lives and the society. If you genuinely love the people around you, you won't wish them harm, but wish them happiness and success. You wish them to have it all. Imagine a world where that environment exists. Don't you think that we would have solved all the problems we have in this world, like climate change, world hunger, poverty? We may live in a complex world where we have to make a million micro decisions every day, but the answer's simple, and it has always been love. Whatever you want, whatever you're after, love will always still be the answer. This comment was written 3 years ago, and it's so true. It's still true, and perhaps I, need reminding more every day. So anyhow, I'm grooving, listening to the music, reading the comments, and thinking about the song in today's talk, and then I teared up. There's only one answer. There's only one answer. And that's when it dawned on me. It's not about thinking, it's about feeling. So, the often love is seen as an idea or an ideal, a state to be attained. But really, love is realized in our actions, our choices, our behaviors. And we get to embrace and explore the ever changing aspects of life and love and keep it alive that way, whether that's in meditation with ourselves or communication with someone else. And this month, we've been talking about love all month. This month, we created a space for us to soar high and also stay grounded in love. So each week, we looked at one of the unique aspects of love's transformative power. Now, we started the month of August. I know it's been a long time ago. Reverend Rainbow started us off with the launch of love. And then Reverend Jean spoke about love's ascent. Then Reverend Deb took us soaring in love. And last week, we heard about the turbulence of love from Reverend Verona. And so this week, we're going to conclude this journey with a gentle descent, reflecting on the lessons we've learned and grounding them into our everyday life. Now, this descent is illustrated in our teaching symbol. And I just happen to have a picture of it right behind me. This is Connie's beautiful artwork. And so you'll notice the circle represents spirit. And then the V depicts spirit manifesting into form. And notice that it passes through this creative medium. So picture that dove in flight and then gently landing. And so today we're embracing the landing of love as a continuous process of growth and renewal. Even if your heart has been shattered, love is still the answer. Hence our affirmation today. I am grounded in a love that knows no condition. A love that knows no condition. Conditions like walls, boundaries, health issues, diseases, income level, IQ, age, estranged loved ones, whatever condition you can think of, let us affirm, I am grounded in a love that knows no condition. Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind magazine, in the Science of Mind textbook says, Have enthusiasm, and above all, have a consciousness of love, a radiant feeling flowing through your consciousness at all times. Treat yourself until you have an inner sense of unity with all good. So we are called to love. We are called to care about this planet. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients, care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communication. That is from Bell Hooks in the book All About Love, New Visions. Let me repeat that. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients, care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communication. So we're called to care about this world, to be a good Samaritan. I'm sure you know the story of the Good Samaritan. Well, one Sunday school teacher was telling her class the story of the Good Samaritan, and she asked the class, if you saw a person lying on the roadside, all wounded and bleeding, what would you do? And one thoughtful little girl spoke up, broke the silence, and said, I think I'd throw up. But what we know is our human's core function is love. Ran across a reading by Adrienne Marie Brown. She's a woman rights activist and a Black feminist based in Detroit. And she said this, when we're engaged in acts of love, we humans are at our best and most resilient. The love and romance that makes us want to be better people, the love of children that makes us change our whole lives to meet their needs, the love of family that makes us drop everything to take care of them, the love of community that makes us work tirelessly and with broken hearts. She continues, perhaps humans' core function is love. Love leads us to observe in a much deeper way than any other emotion. And then she gives us a little poke. If love were the central practice of a new generation of organizers and spiritual leaders, it would have a massive impact. If the goal was to increase the love rather than winning or dominating a constant opponent, I think we could actually imagine liberation from constant oppression. We would suddenly be seeing everything we do, everyone we meet, not through the tactical eyes of war, but through the eyes of love. We would see that there is no such thing as a blank canvas, an empty land, or a new idea, but everywhere there's a complex, ancient, fertile ground full of potential. Each of us, by being here, contributes to a movement of love. May love hold and heal those who need to be held and healed. May love guide more and more people every day. And that is our prayer. May love hold and heal those who need to be held and healed, and may love guide more and more people every day. So this whole month, our focus was on love in this teaching. And love, when embraced, has that power to elevate our relationships with ourselves, all of life. Now, I can't count how many times I've heard the verses from the book of 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, read at weddings. I know you know this. This is from the Revised Standard Version. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So we can see that this descending into love, landing in love, involves more than just our own self-love. It encompasses care for all of life. And the invitation is to embrace our connection with all beings and recognize the impact that we have on the world. See, everything we do influences the world, from where we shop, where we travel, what we eat, how we speak to others, even our most fleeting thoughts. Thoughts are things. We cannot separate ourselves from the world. We matter and impact life by being alive. And so, how do we do that? How do we consider our actions, how that affects our homes, our families, our communities, and thus the world? Our actions touch the lives of others. Thich Nhat Hanh, in his teachings on love, says, never in human history have we had so many means of communication. television, radio, telephone, fax, email, the internet. And yet we remain islands with little real connection between family members, individuals in society, or nations. There's so many wars and conflicts. We have to find ways to open the doors of communication again. When we cannot communicate, we get sick, we suffer, and we spill our suffering onto other people. Now, to ensure that love is the guiding force in what we do, we consciously have to choose to let it lead our thoughts, our actions, our interactions. And this choice creates a foundation for positive outcomes in our lives and the lives of everyone. And when love is at the forefront, then the law works in our favor, allowing us to manifest our desires and dreams. So we invite the possibility of transformation and healing. So, what if love were our compass? If love is the impulsion, and then we know that we manifest through that creative process, love is that divine spirit, then we manifest through that creative medium of the law, and that creates the path of love, of abundance, of joy, of fulfillment. So let love lead. So simple. Yes? Easy. No, not so much. Not so much. Let me tell you. Uh, well, okay, I have an example. So this week I was writing my talk, and my sweetheart was in the other room listening to something that, well, let's just say I didn't feel supported my path of peace. So I had a choice. Do I ignore it? Do I move to a quieter place? Do I ask him to change the station? Oh, there's so many choices, so many choices, so many choices. The door to my office was already shut, but the sound was getting on my nerves. So I decided to shut his door as well. Now, I didn't, as you might assume, slam it, but I also didn't ease it shut like I would for a sleeping child. So I thought maybe he would get the point. But no, it only got worse. So by the next day, my peace was in pieces. Now, I know you can't imagine this, but I lost my cool. And then I felt terrible. Oh my gosh. The whole day was wasted with me feeling terrible. Well, not only me feeling terrible. So I got to consider this. I'm writing this talk on love. Holy cow. Did I create a path of joy? Did I lead with love? And I'm just hopeful that sometimes the awareness of the question is more valuable than a direct answer. See, apparently, I don't know about you, but Spirit is still reminding me that I am not as enlightened or loving as I need to be or as I imagine myself to be. But there's hope. My hope and prayer is that we all continue to grow in empathic love for all of those around us, including ourselves. The, the awareness of this discomfort gave me an opportunity to change the direction and the attitude, my attitude, and my thoughts and beliefs. See, suffering isn't comfortable, whether it's our own or suffering of others, but that temporary discomfort of coming to terms with the suffering in and around us opens us to the door of liberation. So we must know what isn't working and what isn't in alignment with our highest good. We must know if something we've been doing, saying, or choosing has caused hardship for others. And it's in this awareness of that suffering that we can begin to turn the trajectory of our living. So what do? We start with affirmation. Start with affirmation, a prayer, a spiritual mind treatment. Maybe we look at something inspiring, maybe a poem that's inspiring, maybe music that's inspiring, and we find ourselves trying a new approach to a situation. Thich Nhat Hanh, again in his teachings on love, gives us a suggestion. He says, then we meditate on our perceptions. The Buddha observed the person who suffers most in this world is the person who has any wrong perceptions. And most of our perceptions are erroneous. We see a snake in the dark and we panic, but when our friend shines a light on it, we see that it's only a rope. We have to know which wrong perceptions cause us to suffer. And then he encourages to write the sentence, "Are you sure?" on a piece of paper and tape it to your wall. Love meditation helps us learn to look with clarity and serenity in order to improve the way that we perceive. Oh, so what is this love meditation? Well, he gives us a clue here. He says, love meditation is an important beginning. We sit quietly and look deeply into ourselves. And with practice, our love will increase naturally, becoming an all-inclusive and all-embracing. As we learn to see with the eyes of love, we empty our mind of anger and hatred. As long as these negative mental formations are present in our love is incomplete. We may think we understand and accept others, but we are not yet able to love them. So Ernest Holmes wrote this. He said, love points the way and law makes the way possible. So remember that V, the circle of love, the circle of spirit, and then you've got the V. And you notice that the V is separated. Well, the V is complete, but there is a separation there. There's a center section there, which is the creative medium. That's the law. Love points the way, love is the impulsion, and then law makes the way possible. It is through that law that we come to find out and to manifest. Ernest Holmes writes this. He says, the great love of the universe must be one with the great law of its own being. And we approach the love through the law. This then is the teaching, love and law. As the love of God is perfect, so the law of God is perfect. We must understand both. So I hold on to the belief that by surrendering to and exploring that complexity of love and law in action, that's where I'm going to experience the transformation. This law thing is rather incentivizing to me because I know that when I'm in alignment with universal law, that everything works for good. And so the willingness to start with an awareness of this power, with this power, this willingness to start with awareness is so powerful. To begin in love, trust its guiding action, and watch as the law works in harmony to express new and expanded ways of living. So you ask, what is the law? Oh my goodness. We talk about spiritual law. For example, the law of cause and effects. So if our lives are producing effects that aren't advantageous for ourselves or those around us, we have to return to that root cause within us. What's the cause? Now, sometimes I want to change the picture that is projected rather than the cause. It just seems much easier to me, but it never works. I have to go back and change the cause because we know thoughts are things. Where have you heard that before? Words and thoughts give shape and form to our lives. And thoughts initiate the direction that the divine energy or intelligence is to take. And like thoughts attract like things. So our thoughts are the tools of our life experience. Whatever I think about myself or others is creative. And the thoughts that enter my mind are creating my experience. And so when I change my thoughts on that subconscious level, I change the forms and experiences in my life. This is how it works. I don't know how it works. I just know that it works. I also know that like attracts like. You've heard of the law of attraction. Well, that's it. Like attract like. What is around you is there because you've attracted it to you with your thoughts and actions. And so to evolve or grow, I have to take responsibility for what's happening to me without shame, blame, or guilt. Maybe a little self-forgiveness is in order. And then how can I use the experience as a stepping stone to growth? See, again, we come to another law, the law of circulation. What goes out from you comes back to you multiplied. Now, we talk about that sometimes in respect to abundance. What you put out comes back. Also in your emotions, what you put out comes back. It's in everything, the law of circulation. So if you want more of something, then it's time to start putting that out. If you want more time, then spend your time volunteering. If you want more money, give out. If you want more love, you have to love first. So whatever you put out comes back to you multiplied. That's the law of circulation. And we also know that where you focus your attention, that's what increases. So if you focus on the problem, you increase the problem. If you concentrate on the answer, you get the answer. See, when your mind dwells on anything, it energizes that experience. This is what the science of mind teaching is about. How do you guide? How do you accept? How do you open to divine spirit and allow that to guide you? Because we know this too. What you resist, you give power to. So the path is non-resistance. Flow, wouldn't it be good to always be in the flow rather than force? Like the water, it takes the shape of whatever vessel it's in. Water takes the course of least resistance, but it doesn't lose its integrity. It's always water. And so it doesn't mean you let yourself be walked on or you believe everything is right and wonderful when it isn't. Accept where you are right now and know that there's something better. Oh, easy words, not so easy to do sometimes. But the good news is this. The good news is another law that you probably have heard. Principle is not bound by precedent. Just because things have always been done a certain way doesn't mean that's the only way. Just because I've been this way forever doesn't mean that I can't change. For example, when Columbus left to sail the ocean blue, he thought, well, people told him he was going to fall off into a pit of dragons. Now, we know that's not true. The law of gravity was completely accepted. People would never have flown, but we know that people can fly. But they used the gravity, they used the law to fly. So when you hit stalemate, then go within. So I need to let my inner self lead me and guide me into new insights. And then the most important thing, now is all there is. We have to believe that we are in the right place at the right time in the right way for our own personal growth and unfoldment. And you may be late for work or late for lunch, but you're never late for life. So it's up to us to be aware, to pay attention to what's going on right now. And this is a simple yet profound concept. When we create causes aligned with wholeness, the effects are beneficial for all life. So I ran across this reading. I'd like to do us to do this together. And so this is going to be your line. Your line is let us love. And so when I come to the line, let us love, say that with me. This is called In Love by Charles Thomas. Rooting ourselves in love as the source of all we are, let us love. Let us love. Acknowledging every person and all of nature as unique, important, and wanted, let us love. Let us love. Learning that we are whole as all beings are whole, let us love. Let us love. Sharing and relating with one another as each feels comfortable, let us love. Let us love. Working to be anti-racist and opposing every oppression, let us love. Let us love. Drawing nearer to our beloved community on this our one planet, let us love. Let us love. And now let us take this into our meditation at this moment. Just breathing in deeply that love. Allow that feeling of love to wash over you. Maybe just imagine something that you love dearly. The time when you felt even overwhelmed by love. Just let it fill your heart. Maybe it's the birth of a child. Maybe it's when you first knew you were in love as a young person. Maybe it's the puppy or kitten. And just go to that place where that love feels so real. Maybe it's in a song or a picture. Maybe it's words that someone spoke to you or you spoke. And just let that love wash over you now. And know that this is who you truly are. This is who we all are. Love. To love and to be loved. And so just allow that feeling of love to move to every cell in your body, knowing that it is the healing power of love. Let it heal those thoughts. Let it heal those places that are cramped, that are cold and dark. Let that light of love in. Let it heal those places where there are resentments. Oh, let it be a means of self-forgiveness. And let it bring you to the impulsion to do good, to be good, to live life fully in love, be open to give and receive love, and to be willing to give first. And so knowing that there is a law of cause and effect, and that if we come from love, then love comes in us, as us, through us, and for us. The universe is conspiring in our favor in this very moment. And for this I give thanks. I'm so grateful. I relax knowing that the law knows exactly what to do and how to do it for the highest good of all concerned. And I release and let go. I invite you to join me as we affirm together, and so it is.